Hey guys, it's Luke. As you can tell by the face cam, and you see that right there? Yep, time to talk Mario again, and no better time to do it, because guess what? My original response to him, the one about MOP, has now reached 1,000 views. Well, I clap, but I'm holding my mic right now. But yeah, pretty sweet. So now it's finally time to get to the video of his about Kingsman: The Secret Service. I've been putting this off long enough. Let's finally get to it. Now, the thing about this video, there's a question it raises with me about what Mario thinks. I won't say what it is until we get to the end, but I'll hint towards it when we go through it. So let's get to it.
And you're here for another edition of Satanic Illuminati Media Exposed. In today's video, we're going to be exposing this movie that's in theaters called Kingsman: The Secret Service. God set it up in my life that I have a scene rewards card, so I get a whole bunch of free movies. Fantastic way for me to get in there and expose this stuff. Doesn't cost me a cent. I just use my debit card, and then I can come and expose this.
Irrelevant.
So this movie here is
But I'd like to know where I could get that.
blatantly exposing the agenda of the New World Order. Now, for those of you who don't know, part of it involves secret services. How else would these secret societies bring in a brand new World Order without their...
Okay. So you're saying that these Kingsman people, they work for these secret societies, presumably that control the governments. No, in the movie, these guys, like Colin Firth right there, he makes it clear that they don't work for any governments. They employ themselves, really. I mean, sure. I'm guessing that maybe governments call for their help every now and then, but that's like a work for hire kind of thing. They mainly just work for themselves. Let's get that out of the way right now.
Secret services. It's a huge part of it. And that's what this movie is about. It's a young boy who basically joins what's called the Kingsmen. He's given access and trained so that he can be a James Bond type of character. And for those of you who don't know, those organizations that are bringing about the New World Order, the Mossad, the CIA, and British intelligence... Notice British intelligence, my goodness, come on people, how much more obvious can you get? These are the organizations that are working in secret, coercing, doing crazy assignments, overthrowing governments, establishing military bases. They're doing everything, because this is a reality that's going on, and this is what most people don't realize. They don't recognize that there is legitimately some criminal activity, and that's my opinion. I think this is criminal activity.
Your opinion.
To
you don't back up with
undermine
evidence, though.
The sovereignty of all nations of the world, to bring about a one-world system under the power of these forces, which will bring in the Antichrist system. So, I mean, come on. It's literally a Illuminati eye up here. Like, they can even make it more obvious if they tried. But 007,
really?
Yeah.
Get off the point, Mario.
All right. So another thing just to point out in the movie, and you got to be very vigilant when it comes to this stuff, they make it seem awesome. So be careful when Hollywood is feeding you propaganda, especially when it comes to the Secret Service or the Army, because they're always going to tweak it in a way that you're all of a sudden going to want to go and join the Army. You're going to watch the movie, which is mind-controlled propaganda, and then what's going to happen is you're going to be conditioned and brainwashed, and you're going to think, oh, I want to be the next James Bond. That movie was so cool. And you're going to join the Army, and you're basically going to be used like a pawn to fulfill their agendas. They don't...
Stop. Okay, no, Mario. This movie is not a recruiting tool for the Army or whatever. I mean, people realize this is fiction. This is complete fantasy. I mean, as you described, this main character here, this guy, he's basically like the next James Bond kind of character, and yeah, that's not a bad way to describe it, but that's the point. It's not real. This is complete fiction. It's silly, and people realize this. That people can tell fiction from reality. You realize. Do you think people are so stupid that they can't do that? Apparently. But you know what movie is kind of propaganda and was actually meant as sort of a recruiting tool? Act of Valor. That movie had like real army people. I think it was like Navy SEALs or whatever. And it had those real guys in there, and they were real experts, about army stuff, working on the movie or stuff like that. And they intended that movie to get people to join the army. But I know you're not going to talk about that movie, because then people get mad at you. Because that's actual reality. This isn't. Honestly, I don't know if he's ever talked about that movie, but I don't expect he has. I'm pretty sure he hasn't.
Care about you when you join in the army. Sorry to all those people out there who are in the army. I just have to speak the truth. You are being used by the elite to fulfill their agendas. As much as you want to believe that your nation is really out there to fight for freedom and all this stuff, nonsense, craziness. A lot of American troops, when they went over to Iraq and Afghanistan, woke up to the reality that they were being used just to steal oil, to implement military bases in the Middle East and things like that. So you can hear all sorts of testimonies of opinions of military people who realize what was going on. I mean, they were standing there in front of the oil fields, protecting the oil fields, as companies like Shell and other things like that started to steal the oils from the Middle East countries. So, I mean, we need to wake up in society and recognize that, unfortunately, power, corruption corrupts people. The love of money is the root of all.
Stop. Before we go on, Mario, do you really want to undermine the work that our troops do? I mean, yes, we do have people in the army who come to some sort of realization that what they're doing isn't really worth it. Yes, those people exist, sure, but not a lot of them. I mean, I don't know how many of them do that, who quit the army because they get this feeling that what they're doing isn't really doing anything. I mean, what statistics are there? How many people in the army do that? How many leave the army because of such a realization? And how many don't? Give me some statistics, Mario. I mean, but again, even if you do that, again, I don't think it's a lot, and there is real work that our armies do. They do actually fight terrorists like ISIS, Al Qaeda when they still mattered, stuff like that. We did kill Bin Laden, for one thing, so we do real work. I mean, do you really want to undermine the actual real work that our armies do? Really? Is that the angle you want to take? Tread carefully, Mario.
All evil, and these people are power-hungry, money-hungry crazies who are trying to implement the New World Order system, and that's who you're serving when you are submitting to the government and being used as a pawn to fulfill their agendas. And even more so if you were to join the Secret Service. I mean, gosh. It's even hard for me to handle looking at that thing. Come on, it's so blatant.
Get off the point.
But anyways, okay, so that's the one thing. That's the main blatant thing. It's a piece of propaganda to make individuals brainwashed and think that being part of secret government and secret military projects and things like that is cool. And hey, I want to sign up for that. I'm next. Look at all the cool gadgets that they use. And, okay, yeah. Anyways, now one thing I want to point out here is we have Samuel Jackson. This guy is the biggest absolute Illuminati puppet. Every time this guy's in a movie, you can guarantee that the movie itself is highly, highly developed to be a piece of mind control for the elite and their agendas in the world. He, over and over and over again, is in movies like that. Now, in this one, he literally plays...
By the way, he doesn't expand on that. So that was just completely meaningless. Can you stay on point, Mario, please?
Al Gore. If you know, If you don't know who Al Gore is, well, this is this
Yes,
guy
we know
who's
who
going
he is.
around, and it's all about climate change, which is a lie. I've exposed it.
No,
it's a
it's not.
lie.
No, it's not, Mario. Unless you have proof that it is a lie, and that we're not destroying the Earth with tons and tons of pollution. Oh wait, we are actually. Again, do you have proof that climate change is not real? Give me some. And I direct that to any politician who says the same thing. Oh wait, none of you people actually have any proof that climate change is bullshit. Of course.
The guy from the Weather Channel challenged Al Gore to a debate. The Weather Channel CEO, because he said, "This is nonsense. This is crazy. What is he doing? Let's actually challenge this documentary that this politician people came out and told us." It's the truth. No, it was to bring in the biggest tax ever known to humanity, which is the carbon tax, make you feel bad about your carbon footprint so that you will start paying to the elite eventually for every single carbon emission that you put.
Oh yeah, I like the way he says that. Eventually. Not right now though, but you'll pay it eventually. If we were really paying the elite, guess what? I'm pretty sure the US would also have a carbon tax. But from what I know, we don't really have one. I mean, there's like a couple cities in the U.S. that do, but for the most part, we don't really have one. It's more like other countries abroad that do. I don't know. Someone else can expand the point for me.
Out. It's mind control, people. And in the movie, it's pretty ironic. You literally see Samuel L. Jackson, and he is publicly talking about climate change and helping that, but in secret, he's actually trying to do a great culling. And they even use the term culling. Mm-hmm. Now, for those of you who don't know, that's exactly what the elite are doing. I'm going to leave this in the description section from naturalnews.com. The great culling has begun.
Yeah,
Will
they seem
your
like a
genetic
completely
lineage
reputable
survive?
source.
The elite don't care about you. Okay, get real in the reality. Do you think this world is perfect with all the suffering and the death and the innocent lives that are being taken every single day? 20, 30, 50,000 children are dying of starvation like almost every single day, and that's just increasing. No, listen, you live in a fallen world. The Bible is real. It tells you that there are some pretty evil forces that are in control in high places in this world here today. And do you know that the princes and, you go to see the queen and, the queen, and you bow to her and you're like, oh my goodness, I met the queen. She don't care about you. You know how she sees you and how the elite see you? They see you as nothing more than a useless eater. And that's exactly what this guy is saying in the movie. He's going, you know what? We need to save the elite. And that's what happens in the movie at the end of it. He's legitimately trying to do a massive culling. And for those of you who don't know what a culling is, it's to kill a certain percentage of the population. But the Illuminati, they believe this to be a good thing because they're saving the planet. They're the world's saviors. They see us as a virus. They see us as a huge problem. They have brainwashed the public to believe in a lie of depopulation. Why do they want you to believe in depopulation? Now, many of you right now, when I said the lie of depopulation, because of your programming, what just happened is you couldn't handle that. You're like, no, there is too many people on this planet because you believe the propaganda.
Yeah, I don't know how many people actually believe that we're. Wait, Mark, I think you mean overpopulation, not depopulation. I think depopulation would mean less people, but you mean overpopulation, meaning there's too many people on Earth, which really there's not. But again, I don't know how many people actually believe that. So. I could say this is a straw man, but I'm not going to, because I don't really know.
Oh, perfect. Of just how much mind control is the elite putting on you? Think about this. The power is actually in the people. This group of elite don't even make up the 1%. When we say 99%, they're not even 1. They're like 0.00001% all the way at the end of the line there. It's just ridiculous. And they have convinced you with this fantastic lie that Oh, you need to kill yourselves, people. Why is that? Because
Yeah, who actually says that people should be offing themselves? Oh yeah, nobody says that, Mario. No one is saying that. No one is saying that. Show me some sort of person in power who's saying that people should off themselves. Seriously, show me somebody's doing that. You can't, obviously. And by the way, let's get this out of the way. This idea of the culling, of killing tons of people but saving a select few, this is coming from the villain of the movie. Okay? Let's get that out of the way. This is coming from the villain. Also, just as a side note, can I bring up the story of Noah for just a second? Like in the story of Noah, God wanted to save Noah and his family, but he flooded the world to kill everyone else because, if I remember, they were spoiling God's earth, poisoning it, wasting it. But Noah and his family were good people; they put it to use. Which is why God sent the flood to save Noah, who were good to, and his people who were good to the earth, and kill everyone else who were terrible to the earth. That kind of sounds like what Valentine here. That's Jackson's character. That's his character's name in the movie. That sounds like what he's doing. He's culling most of the people on the earth, but saving a select few. Because people on Earth are basically destroying the Earth. Valentine wants to off most of the planet because most of the people are spoiling it. God wanted to off most of the people because they were spoiling it, and both want to save a select group. Interesting. I doubt Mario's seeing the similarities himself.
they are scared of the fact that we could come together. The Bible talks about the fact that there isn't a humanist salvation in the end times. Humans won't gather together to overcome the elite. It's going to be Jesus coming in the sky because the world is going to be absolutely deceived by the demonic forces in this world. But sadly, you know, if we actually did get together, I think we could overthrow them. But it's not going to happen because the world is absolutely under the power of Satan. And, you know, that's exactly what's going on. So in the movie, you see the plans that the elite have to bring in the New Age. He's literally talking about the New Age. He uses that terminology.
Yeah.
The elite are in a room at some point. He's telling this guy who is a politician. He takes a chip. They all have chips in them. Their heads blow off because the chips can be remotely blown off. And they even have like this zombie apocalypse part where everyone gets these chips that they put in their phone to give them free internet that was given by him, and when he sends off their radioactive waves, everyone, their brain centers that are responsible for aggression and stuff like that is triggered, and they start going animalistic, and it's literally a zombie apocalypse where everyone doesn't know what they're doing and they're freaking out. And these type of technologies are being developed. People, they're working.
Oh, really? Yeah, the friggin' chip in our brain stuff. I've heard that so many times, and there's never been any proof that kind of technology exists or is being developed. If it is, I want proof it is. Show me proof that technology exists. Oh wait, no one's given proof. But Mario, if you have such proof, please present it at any time as you wish, but do it at some point. Okay?
On some crazy stuff. I do believe we're going to experience a time of absolute chaos and darkness in the world. The Bible does tell us about this. It says that in the days where the Son of Man shall come, Jesus' second coming, it'll be just as in the days of Noah. And in Noah's time, the Bible tells us that every thought of man was consistently evil. So we're going to get to a time of absolute chaos. But do not fear that evil. If you are in Christ Jesus, you have nothing to fear. If you're not, well, yeah, you should fear and you should repent and come to the Lord Jesus, who is the rock of salvation. And that while the chaos occurs on this world, you will be in the hand of God and you shall be protected. So that's what this is about. It's all about the new age, the great culling of the elite. Culling is basically a form of eugenics. What happened is the government actually brought over Nazi scientists, and that is disclosed in...
Stop. Okay, really? You're gonna invoke Godwin's law, really? I mean, they're not. I mean, it's not Hitler, but it's not. But it is Nazis. But really, you're invoking Godwin's law. But all right, whatever. Keep going.
Public records. It's called Project Paperclip. They brought them over. They continued the Nazi sciences. The Nazis were led by a psychotic guy. You know his name, Hitler. And
okay, I want to stop right there. Yeah, I want to expand on what he said there. Yes, we did actually bring over Nazi scientists, and yes, we did something called Project Paperclip. But yeah, we basically developed. With their help, we developed new technologies and stuff like that. Because let's face it, the Nazis were, Nazis were terrible. No one's going to deny that. But let's also face it, pretty smart people. They were really smart people, which is why we brought them over. But Mario, we didn't continue Nazi sciences. We just used Nazi scientists. Because again, they're really smart people. But we didn't, as far as I'm aware, we didn't continue any of the awful shit they did. I just want to mention that, okay?
what he was trying to do is bring about the Luciferian New World Order. A lot of people think he's Christian. Not even close. He was a secret Luciferian. He had
No, he wasn't. It mentions in Mein Kampf that he was... He says it in... can't speak. He mentions in Mein Kampf that he was doing God's work. Don't believe me? Go read it yourself. It says it in there. Again, not a secret Luciferian. As Mario's about to mention...
Luciferian books right beside his bed.
Yeah, books like what? Like what? No mention... he doesn't mention the books, and by the way... Well, he doesn't mention their names. So, he's pulling this out of his ass. He's pulling this out of his ass. Of course.
He pretended to be a Catholic. The Catholic organization is a false religion. It's a false system. It's a bunch of wolves in sheep's clothing.
Whoa, okay, now you just pissed off the Catholics. Good job, Mario. Seriously, you want to piss off our brothers and sisters in arms, and now you want to piss off the Catholics too? Really? Really? Again, choose your words carefully, Mario.
And they were trying to do eugenics and all sorts of different occult sciences and stuff like that. And all there was is the U.S. government brought them over because now it's like, okay, Hitler, you messed up. So we'll bring you in secret. And all of this is even shown in more propaganda films like Captain America, where you legitimately see that this operation is going on and they're continuing.
Expand on that point, please, Mario. And Captain, what? What are you talking about? Are we talking about in the comics, Captain America comics, or the movies? He doesn't expand on this, by the way. He just says it and expects you to believe it.
Their stuff. So we are living in times where the Nazi Illuminati scientists are working in secret in these CIA type of secret organizations in order to bring in the eugenics, the great culling, the depopulation, and they got the public so brainwashed and condition that they wouldn't even see it. Check this article out. I'll leave it in the description section, and it's a good one. Now, yeah, so this guy's a fraud, and I got videos on that. Now, I'll just point out some other things in the movie here. Of course, you gotta leave it to Hollywood, aka Hellywood, in order to attack the true God. There's literally a scene, it was absolute disgust. You have this quote-unquote Christian church, and of course, Hollywood had to depict Christians as racist, homophobic, evil people. Don't go watch this movie and think that these people are real Christians. These are like the Westboro Baptist, false, demon-possessed, false Christians who...
Yeah, as you mentioned, they're like friggin' Westboro with how just over the top and terrible they are, how racist, how homophobic they are. But that's the point, Mario. It's supposed to be Westboro turned up to 11. That's the point. It's not Christianity that they're mocking. They're mocking Westboro. Okay? Let's get that out of the way right now. But I know you don't buy that. You think they're mocking all Christianity. No, they're not. No, they're not, Mario.
Who are specifically sent by Satan in order to create this illusion that this is what Christians are about in the public, but the public doesn't care enough to do their own research, actually read the words of Jesus, that he specifically said himself that this would happen. He said wolves will come in sheep's clothing. You know, they don't want to look at that. They just want to, hey, go see a movie, and all of a sudden, that's reality to them. So Christians are bad. So this is legitimately a scene where the Christians are all crazy, and he kills every single Christian, quote unquote, this legalistic, false Westboro Baptist Christians in this church, and just leaves them all to dead. So, and in the this scene specifically, he says, "Hail Satan" to a woman. So, "Hail Satan," and tells her all sorts of whack stuff, and then every Christian kills himself, and he walks out of a church with every single Christian dead.
Also, I want to mention this. All these people in the church, they also have that chip in their brain. I want to mention that. So, him and saying "Hail Satan" and all that other stuff to that lady, yeah, like he says, everything that could piss her off, and she gets pissed off. He did that on purpose to set off the chip in the brain. That's why he did that. Okay?
And couldn't think of a better scene that they could have produced to satisfy their satanic warped souls. Another thing that's I want to point out in the movie is they try and brainwash young men to believe that, this type of agent is an actual gentleman. This is what a man truly is.
Oh, they don't.
You can even see here that they went out and they specifically, being a gentleman never goes out of style. This is their own marketing. Manners maketh man. No, this isn't manhood. If you think this is a man, you're brainwashed, and you have no clue what true, actual manhood is.
Yeah, as for the manhood thing, we went over this in the MOP video. Okay? So I won't talk more about that, but no, they're not saying that this James Bond kind of character, or, the Kingsman, they're not saying that's what actual manhood is. It's I can't speak. It's all contrast. I mean, the movie is ultra violent. Like, it's pretty violent movie, and yet the Kingsman, they act like perfect gentlemen. It's like, I'm trying to remember specific examples in the movie. Like after the church beatdowns, he cuffs his collar, his shirt sleeves, collar, whatever. It's a contrast. It's like it's like a perfect gentleman after he beats the shit out of people. It's a contrast between a gentlemanly nature, perfect manners, and that's contrasted with brutal violence. They do it for comedy. I mean, whether or not they succeed is up to you, but that's why they do that.
Only by following the Bible can you understand what a man is. God being our creator, and man being the creation. The creation itself, man, needs to see what the manual actually says about manhood. And guess what? This isn't it. Just because he gets the girls and he's cool and he's got this charm and all this stuff, oh yeah, he's a man. No, listen, that's not manhood. In the movie, this kid becomes the next James Bond type dude, secret agent, and what you see from him is at the end he gets the princess, and I'm not going to describe what they did, but he gets her, and it's disgusting, okay? Young men, don't look up to this. Don't think this is cool. This is Satan literally playing with your mind to make you desire things that just are going to continue to make you a boy. You'll never truly experience manhood and what that's about. In the description section below, I'll leave the link to my brothers in Christ and mine's YouTube channel, The Godly Bros. I'm fed up with this in culture, and the fact that there are no good men representing anymore, barely. And the media is not going to see it. You're not going to see it from Hollywood. So here on YouTube, we're creating a channel here to show you what that actually is. And the James Bond type of dude, this isn't it. Sorry, this is cool, but this is Hollywood propaganda and mind control from Satan to absolutely lead you astray. So go ahead and check us out and find out what actual men are. You're going to see you're so far off you have no idea. So there you have it, everyone. Another great garbage movie from the elite in Hollywood to continue the mind control on the masses. Thanks for taking the time. This is the Vigilant Christian saying God bless each and every one of you. As always, remember, stay vigilant.
And close that. Okay. So just want to make a few final points. One, I mentioned earlier that I get the feeling that Mario thinks people are too stupid to tell fiction from reality, because he says that, oh, this is propaganda and it's going to brainwash young minds. No, it won't, Mario, because we recognize that that the movie is, not real. It's fiction. It's not reality. We understand this. But no, you seem to think that people are too stupid to actually realize what, that people are too stupid to tell fiction from reality. Well, guess what, guess what, Mario? We're smarter than you think. Oh, again, I'll say this again. Act of Valor is better as if Kingsman is supposed to be propaganda, as you say it is, it's terrible at it because it's clearly unrealistic, and people know this. Act of Valor used real people from the army as consultants and used real army men as actors in the film. That movie is propaganda. Okay? I'm not saying that movie is bad, but it was made for the intention of getting people into the army. That's why they made that movie. But I know you won't say anything bad about that movie because you'll piss people off. Not like you didn't try with this video. I mean, you said people can't tell fiction from reality. You insulted our men and women in arms, and you insulted the Catholics. Good job, Mario. And as for that question I want to raise, here it is. Does Mario think that because the movie brings up the idea of the culling, and that means it promotes the idea of the culling? I mean, again, it comes from the villain, but I wonder if Mario thinks that the film promotes the idea simply because it brings it up. Because I remember when he did his video on Jurassic World, like he said that movie was promoting the idea of, genetic splicing and, bringing back dinosaurs. No, it wasn't promoting that idea. It was going against that idea. But again, because the movie brought up the idea, in his mind, it was promoting the idea. So I have to wonder, is it the same here? I don't really know. But that's enough of that. Thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you next time. Take care.